Police running all in and out the building. What the hell is going on?
Hey, Raiders versus Broncos. And this is the game plan. Hey, what's good? What's good? What's good, YouTube? What's good, Raider Nation? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, y'all know what it is. We are here on this wonderful day, and we got to talk about the game plan. You know, we playing the Broncos. This is a division rival, and we got to get it in once again. But before we get really in, I got to give y'all the Raider Twuan brown cracker salute. This goes out to the congregation. That's right. Remember, there's no Raider Twuan without the congregation, and there is no congregation without the Raider Nation. Yes, sir. And if you're wondering what is this congregation stuff you're talking about, all you got to do is hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and you are officially a part of the congregation. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button. All right. And hit that like button. Why? Because I like you. All right. We got the Broncos coming up. You know, we just came off of a win, but we got to talk about the Broncos because we going into, you know, the Bronco country, going to Mile High Stadium. And, you know, record says that, you know, this game is going to fall in our favor, but we can't just roll off of everything that's supposed to just fall on our favor, right? We got to break it down. We got to talk about players. We got to talk about offense, defense, what we got to do to take care of business against the Broncos. Yes, they have a new coach. Sean Payton is there. You know, he's trying to put his team together, put some things together. I believe he has a new quarterback over there. We don't know if that's going to be his quarterback for a long time, but whatever. That's their problem, not ours. Well, we can talk about that later. But anyway, the Broncos are in. And, you know, shout out to everybody in the chat. I see you guys in here. Make sure you guys hit that like button and share this out if possible. All right. First segment is players to watch out for. Because, you know, we got to do that, right? We got to make sure we get a good eye on these players. Make sure they know, we know, and what they know needs to be done. And first player that we got to look at, we're going to look at the Broncos, okay? I got 3 players that I definitely want to take a look at. And those are, let me get my handy dandy notebook, because I do some work around here. You know what I'm saying? I just don't look good. You know what I'm saying? I do some work around here. Anyway, hi Shirley. So I'm looking at specifically for this game, I'm looking at the running backs, and I'm looking at Jaleel McLaughlin, and I'm also looking at Javonte Williams. Now, those two running backs bring two different facets to the game, kind of like a thunder and lightning type of tandem. One's more of a power back, one's more of a speedy, elusive, shifty, shaky kind of running back. And I'll start with the shifty, shaky, elusive one, and that's Jaleel McLaughlin. That guy has some speed. They use him in a lot of ways. They like to use him, coming out the outside, of the running. Sometimes they'll hit him, in the, up the middle. But they like to really use his speed on the outsides, and that's definitely going to be something that we're going to have to keep an eye out on. Definitely, it's going to be one of those things that I'm saying, even on, later on in the game plan, as to why I'm saying these names. Obviously, you guys know when I talk about the names, it's all going to make sense as we go along, right? So, looking at Jaleel McLaughlin and his shiftiness, we definitely got to keep an eye on that. Our linebackers are going to have to play a very vital role into solidifying that. Our D-line, obviously, it doesn't just start with the D-line stopping the run. The D-line, they set the primary stop gaps, and then the linebackers are supposed to fill the remaining holes in the defense. So it's going to take our front eight, to definitely keep an eye on that as needed. The other guy is another guy that I was actually very high on coming out of the draft is Javonte Williams, coming out of North Carolina. Is just another college that I kind of look at, but definitely was looking at him coming out the draft because I like his running style. He's a very powerful running back, runs with attitude. He runs behind his pads, and I got to give it to him. He's a solid running back. So definitely we got to keep an eye out on that. If the Broncos can, they will try to run the ball on us. So those are two guys that I think they'll be trying their best to get going against us. Another one is on the defensive side, and I think a lot of people already know this guy's name, but it's just a name that we got to keep an eye out on too, is the cornerback, Patrick Surtain. We definitely got to keep an eye out on him. I think his assignment will be on our number one wide receiver, not Davante Adams, but Jakobi Meyers. We know Davante Adams is not going to be available for reasons that I'm not going to get into because I think it's already been put out there. But Jakobi Meyers is going to be taking on that number one role. And because he's going to be taking on that number one role, he's going to have to take on those number one corners. And this is going to be his matchup against Patrick Surtain. So it's going to be interesting on both sides. I didn't later on when I talk about players to look out for, I didn't put Jakobi Meyers, but that's another name to add, kind of an honorable mention to look at in regards to that matchup. Does Jakobi Meyers, put a beating on Surtain, and route him up? We know that Jakobi Meyers is a solidified, wide receiver. We know that he's a very, as of recent with us, he's been a very consistent wide receiver with us, playing the number two role, and every once in a while, assuming the number one spot. So this is going to be Jakobi's also time to show us, hey, I'm really that number one wide receiver. I've always been saying, even from the beginnings of when we were crafting this team with everybody on our roster, I felt we had two number wide receivers in our wide receiver room with Jakobi Meyers and Davante Adams. So now Jakobi Meyers is now going to be able to show us what he's really working with in regards to the wide receiver competition against the cornerback of the Broncos, which is Patrick Surtain. The next person, as I move on for players to look out for. Yes, I talked about the Broncos. Now I'm going to be talking about the Raiders. Make sure you guys hit that like button while you guys are coming in. Yes, sir. All right. So going on to the Raiders, like I said, I talked about Jacoby Myers, but I'm going to be looking at his opposite partner, and that's going to be Trey Tucker. I think Trey Tucker actually has been playing well for us with the limited, snaps that he has been getting. Every time his number has been called, it seems like he's been doing his job, whether he's getting open down the field and the ball's not getting there, or whether he's catching it, or whatever the situation is. There's been a lot of times where, even going back to the tape, Trey Tucker's running his route and he's open. So he's doing his job. So let's see what he does. This time he'll be going against the number 2. Obviously, he won't be going against Patrick Surtain, because I think that would be on Jacoby Myers. But this will be also a time for Trey Tucker to show us even more of his capabilities at wide receiver. Young wide receiver, speedy wide receiver, and talented wide receiver. So definitely I'm going to be looking at Trey Tucker and seeing what he does in this offense. Now, I have another guy on defense, and then I'm going to go back to the offense, okay? So I'm going to do a little flipping back and forth. The next person is going to be a guy that I'm going to be looking forward to stepping up. We have somebody that's not going to be playing because of injury, and he's the next man up. So in the next man up situation, I'm really looking for this guy, and that is Tommy Eichenberg. That's right. Linebacker Tommy Eichenberg. I think Tommy Eichenberg is going to be one of those guys moving forward for us. I think he's going to be a mainstay for us. I was very high on him, as we were going along in the NFL, combine and NFL draft. When people were asking, hey, because we knew that linebacker was a need here for the Raiders, and people were like, hey, Twuan, what do you think we should get at linebacker? And I said, there's actually some really talented linebackers later on, in the draft. And one of the names that I identified and really was high on was Tommy Eichenberg. So Tommy Eichenberg will be getting getting more snaps than he's been getting as of recent. And, this is the opportunity for him to show himself, right? Along with what I said earlier in regards to the Broncos and their team, right? Talking about, McLaughlin and Javonte Williams, right? Having them at running back, the linebackers are definitely going to play a major role. And I think Tommy Eichenberg is going to have to, strap him up and do what he needs to do in regards to stopping and limiting the running backs in their efforts against us. The next person is actually a running back, and that is Alexander Mattison. That's right, running back Alexander Mattison. The way that things have been going, we've been running Zamir White, aka Zeus, but reports have came out, that before the injury of Zeus, that Mattison was deserving of some more snaps, and this came from the head coach Antonio Pierce. So it was already flowing towards Mattison getting more snaps, even with Zeus being here, being available. But now in the situation of Zeus not being available, it's going to be on Mattison to take on that leading running back role. So I'm excited for Mattison. I like Mattison. And what I saw from him, what he brought to the table. I know when he was with the Vikings, reports were out that, he has a tendency of, fumbling. So we're going to definitely knock on that wood and knock on wood if you with me. And see what Mattison can do. I think everybody has been excited about when Mattison has been getting action. So let's see what he does. And then also, the other honorable mentions are the guys that are behind him, right? Amir Abdullah, right? Dylan Lowby, right? Dylan Lowby might be able to get a couple of snaps here and there. and see how that works out. We'll see what the coaching staff decides they want to do, but I know primarily it will be Alexander Madison that will be heading our running game. All right. So we talked about players to look out for. Definitely let me know down in the comment section your thoughts on the players we definitely need to look out for. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe. Okay, we talked about players to look out for. And let me do this for you guys.
Fucking Stizan. Twuan, hey Twuan, hit that like button. Why? Because I like you.
Yes, sir. Go ahead and hit that like button. All right. So we looked at the players to look out for, for the Broncos and for the Raiders. Again, let me know what you guys think down in the comment section. Your thoughts, your Raider gospel on who we need to look out for this upcoming game. Now, going into our defense, that's right. That guy on the screen, Max Crosby, he's back. But what do we need to do defensively against the Broncos? Just like I said with the players before, the guys that I talked about in that in the players to look out for, I'm going along with it. Stop the run, okay? The reason why we need to stop the run is because even with their quarterback play, it hasn't been good. So if you can stop their run, then you're actually really limiting their quarterback, okay? If their running game goes along, then possibly their passing game can flow from that, right? But if you limit their running game and their passing game hasn't been as well with Bo Nix, that just falls into our favor, right? So we have to, it is a must that we stop the run. Now, they've been running actually pretty well offensively. They've been running the ball fairly well. I'm not saying like super good, but respectfully, they've been running the ball. So definitely, if we can cut that part of their offense, then that leaves Bo Nix to have to throw the ball. And if he has to throw the ball, it doesn't look like a good thing for them. Okay. As of recent, right? So definitely got to stop the run. That's point 1A. Okay. That's the first point of business defensively is stop the run. Now, with that being said, like I said, with the quarterback situation and stopping the run, I need them to be disruptive up front. Okay. I need you to after being disruptive up front also means stopping the run, but it also means when you know it's a passing situation, I need you guys to get it in. Okay. I need Tyree Wilson to do what he was doing, putting pressure. He was playing well last week. He didn't get a sack, but he was putting pressure on it. You know what I'm saying? Snowden, this is your time to do what you need to do. You know what I'm saying? Max Crosby, we know what you're going to bring to the table. Wilkins, we know what you're going to bring to the table. So I need them to be disruptive up front. This is a young quarterback. This is going to be not a veteran quarterback. This is going to be a quarterback that may not necessarily know everything that he's doing out there when the bullets is really, really flying at him. And when you start putting disruption in front of a young rookie quarterback's face, it's in favor for the Raiders. So we got to, stop the run. That's the first point of business, but we got to be disruptive up front. And whoever it is, personnel-wise, that we put out there, it's an imperative that we got to take care of that, being disruptive up front. Now, This one sounds like I'm gonna contradict myself, but it's not contradicting yourself in regards to what I'm about to say. Be gap disciplined. Okay, so you can be disruptive up front, but also be gap disciplined, because when I went back and looked at the tape of what Bo Nix was doing when that pocket collapsed and he realized there was nothing to pass out there, he is willing to run the ball. So if you give him, lanes in those gaps, he will run through those gaps and get whatever he can. I'm not saying he's a Lamar Jackson, but he does have some legs to him. So definitely we can do all of this. We can stop the run. We can be disruptive up front. And also at the same time, be gap discipline. Now, everything that I'm saying right here, it sounds like I'm just talking about the D line, right? It's going to be primarily predicated off of the D line. It's going to be very important this week that we solidify, our D line really holds this team and the defensive side together. Okay? And because we're being disruptive up front and we're rushing the ball, most likely they're going to have to try to get the ball out quick. So we have to communicate on the back end. Now, we have, a new safety, a new starter safety that's going to be taking over for Epps, which is Isaiah Palamau, and he did well last week. So, let's see what the communication, see if the communication continues. Because actually last week, the communication from what I saw was good. I think there was only one time, there was a one blown coverage, and that got called back from a flag. So we kind of got saved from that one. But for the most part, the communication has been well on the back end in regards to our safety. So I'm looking for our secondary to definitely be aggressive in their attacking. If our defensive line is doing exactly what I believe they can do against the Broncos, and that's being disruptive up front, stopping the rush and all that. I mean, stopping the runs and stuff like that. And then from there, communicating on the back end. And I think if we do that, that's definitely going to be in our favor in regards to the defense. Okay. Now, I always say this, and it's not. I'm gonna say it, and it's gonna be a broken record every week. You guys are gonna hear this one. Capitalize on turnovers. Okay, got to capitalize on turnovers. Bo Nix fumbles. We need to recover that. Turn that into 7. Simple as that. Okay, we don't need to play around with this team. We need to hit them, hit them early, and hit them hard. Okay. Shout out to everybody in the chat. All right. Talk about players to look out for. Talk about things on our defense, and now gotta talk about that offense. Okay. And an offense without the guy on the screen, Davante Adams. Okay? What are we going to do offensively? What are we going to do offensively for the Raiders? Run, homie, run. Yeah, that's right. Run. Okay. We got to run against these guys. Madison, I think Madison is going to do well. I think last week we were able to run some gains on the outside. Remember I talked about running on the inside, but also running on the outside. Doing one of these, you know what I'm saying? No, I was like, y'all thought I was about to. Nah, I ain't gonna do that. Anyway, Yeah, so running on the inside, running on the outside is definitely going to be very important for us to do in this game. Why? Because to be honest with you, their defense is actually pretty good. And one of their strong suits are actually on the outsides in their corners. So, throwing through them, I mean, you can, but let's get the run going. Okay. And actually, since the run's starting to tick a little bit better and better, let's see what we can do in the run game. Running on the inside, running on the outside, using Madison. Hey, use Turner, DJ Turner. Okay, DJ Turner also has been a guy that's been very solid and consistent when his number is called, and I think that will be also a name when his number is out there to definitely look at in the run game. Okay. Now, I talked about running in the middle, right? But I'm also going to talk about in the pass game, attack the middle. Okay. And when I talk about attacking the middle, this is going to be an opportunity for our tight ends to really get involved. I'm looking for Brock Bowers. I'm looking for, Harrison. You know what I'm saying? Harrison there to do what he needs to do. And attack the middle of their defense. I think there's something that we can use something there and available for us in the tight ends. They actually are not really good defensively guarding the tight ends. They, it almost sometimes it looks like they just let the tight ends do whatever they want to do. So this might be another opportunity for Brock Bowers to get some action. This might be another opportunity for Brian and Shanker to get out there and get something done. But definitely, I would explore attacking the middle with our tight ends, get them on the seam, get them, active right there in the middle of the defense. That will also not get the corners involved. You know what I'm saying? That would be more on the linebackers, put some pressure on some of those safeties. And then when you do that, then if you're, running the tight ends up the middle, then maybe you can flex a running back out the backfield to replace the middle. There's a whole lot of things you can do. So I would definitely this game explore the tight ends, get the tight ends active, and have them attack the middle of their defense. And that's along with the quick passing, right? So quick passing slants, quick passing action. Don't let our quarterback just have to sit there until he finds someone. Let him drop back. 1, 2, 3, get the ball out. You know what I'm saying? 3-step drop, hit him. You know what I'm saying? And move the chains. You know what I'm saying? Let's come in here all business. Let's come in here, like I said, not playing around with them and fooling around with them. And let's get in there and get out there. Get out there with the dub. Now, I talked about the offense. I talked about the defense. And definitely we got to talk about some coaching, all right? Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe if you want more Raider content and all the good stuff of the Las Vegas Raiders. So the coaching plan for me is simple as this. I was going to say make adjustments, even though making adjustments is important to this game. But for coaching, I need them to be aggressive. Okay? I need your play calling to be aggressive. I need you to get after this quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Aggressively. Offensively, I need you to be aggressive. Okay? I need you to not hold any plays back. You know what I'm saying? Don't be like, I'm gonna save this till week 16. Nah. Let's hit it. Like I said, let's get it. Let's get in, get out, Get Brock Bowers involved, get Trey Tucker involved, get DJ Turner involved. You know what I'm saying? If Myers is shaking up, Surtain, hit him with it, but we got to be aggressive all the way around. I don't want if we end up calling this game and being conservative, I think that might be a cause for us to lose this game. I'll say that again. If we are playing conservative, that means 3, okay, we're just gonna punt. You know what I'm saying? Or when you're being aggressive and when you're just playing it safe. If we play it safe too much, I think that might be a cause for us to be in danger of losing this game. But like I said, if we be aggressive and do everything that I said prior to, I think we'll be fine. Now, as always, I got to give you guys my final thoughts. And my final thought is simply as this. If we come in there slow, if we come in there conservative, if we come in there like we didn't wake up, we might lose this game. I'm projecting that we will win this game. I think this is a very winnable game. But we have to come in with the business and being focused to get the job done. First thing on defense, we got to stop the run. Because if they can run, they will run on us all day. Okay? If we let them run on us, they will run on us all day. And they're not afraid of using both of those guys. They'll use Davante Williams, and all of a sudden they'll use Jaleel McLaughlin. Okay? So stop the run. Okay? In the pass game, like I said, attack the middle with our tight ends. Get our tight ends more involved. I think this is definitely going to be one of those Brock Bauer games for us. I'm not saying that he's going to have a monster game, but I think he'll be definitely a vital piece to moving the chains, here and there. I think this is a winnable game. I think the drama of everything else that has gone on with the Davante Adams junk and stuff like that, I think it could be a reason as to why someone may lose focus, but I don't think that's the case. And we'll see how this team responds. You know what I'm saying? They responded last week based on the news, and now they're moving forward to the Denver Donkeys. Right? Let me know down in the comment section your thoughts on these topics. Okay? Let me know what players to look out for. Whether it's the Broncos, whether it's the Raiders. Okay? Let me know defensively. What's the game plan? Tell me what you're thinking. Tell me your thoughts on what we should do defensively. Maybe there's something that I didn't add. Add that to the table and bring that in. All right? And offensively, without Davante Adams, what are we going to do? Let me know. Tell me your Raider gospel on what we should do offensively against the Raiders. And look, I'm going to say it like this. What do we need to see from the coaching staff? What does Coach AP have to do? What does Luke Getsy need to do with his offense? Okay? What does Patrick Graham need to dial up in order for success? Let me know all of that down in the comment section. You guys make sure, you get on here with Raider Twuan. Subscribe if you like the Raiders. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to come at you every week, give you guys the game plan, my Raider gospel on what I believe is going to happen week to week as to win or lose, because I'll say sometimes, hey, I think this might be a game we might lose. And that's just being very realistic, in my thoughts. But I will also, even in those weeks, I will give you what we should do in order to have success, even though I may not feel completely like that. But that's my Raider gospel. I try to keep it as real as possible over here. So if you guys want to hear my thoughts and opinions on this great team, definitely hit that subscribe button. You do not want to miss it every single week. All right. Hit that like button. Why? Because I like you. All right. And don't forget, next week, I'll be talking about the upcoming week. So, yeah, just get with Raider Twuan and subscribe. We are on our way to 500 subscribers. So please go ahead and subscribe. It is completely free to do. As I look for it, and there it goes. Hit that like button, yo.
Fucking Stizan.
Twuan,
hey, Twuan, hit that like button. Why? Because I like you.
That's right. Hit that like button. And remember, you're a blessing. Be a blessing to someone else. And let's go.
Vamos Raiders.
Go Raiders.
What up,
Remix.
What up,
Today is a day when our heroes of the past become our legends of the future. Time never really stops for the great ones. We wrap them in a cloak of immortality and remember what great people they were. We recognize you, Virginia Mack, his sons Mike and Joey. They were a football family, so that John could pursue his dreams. And a tribute to John Madden and Al Davis. We declare that the fire that burns the brightest in the Raiders organization is the will to win. Ladies and gentlemen, the Madden family.